All right, guys, how's it going? It is time for another exclusive. All right. Now, it's obviously an exclusive because it says exclusive here. All right, I'm going to go through it. I'm going to say about the journalist. I can't read the entire article to you, or I will only pick out the bits that are exclusive or relevant to Liverpool Football Club, because the first few paragraphs are not really about Liverpool in this, so we're going to skip straight to the Liverpool stuff. Now, remember what I say to you: if you visit a website that you don't know about its credibility, I personally judge it on the amount of advertising on that website. And as you can see, there's a lot of ads. If I was to browse the page, there would be even more. I just feel and find that the more ads, the more bullshit is usually the situation. So, exclusive. Juventus ask Liverpool for Núñez as Kolo Muani talks continue. All right, and this is by a hack called Alfredo Pedula at footballitalia.net, I believe. I think it's .net. Yes. Now, basically, in good old-fashioned terms, Pedula is a veteran journalist with deep sources in Italy, sharp instincts, and a reputation earned over decades. He's been around a while. He's not perfect, but in the grand tradition of transfer insiders, he's deemed reliable enough to be taken seriously and followed closely. Maybe he's not the Oracle of Milan, but he's certainly a go-to for Serie A and Italian market moves. That's promising. Let's get down to the bit about Liverpool. Serie A potential destination for Núñez is like a sub-headline. And it says here, Núñez had already been heavily linked with a Serie A transfer for Napoli, who eventually decided to go for Lorenzo Luca of Udinese instead. They were put off by the €50 million asking price, euros, 50 million euros asking price. But Juventus are hoping to take advantage of and swoop for the Uruguay international that come down like out of the skies and swoop and take advantage. Núñez just turned 26 last month and was only purchased from Benfica for €85 million in the summer of 2022. He contributed 7 goals and 7 assists in 47 competitive games for Liverpool. Is that right? Is that what it was? People want to defend that. For Liverpool last season, scoring just 5 in the Premier League. Although there is a lucrative proposal from Al Hilal, the player would prefer to remain within European football. Again, Juventus would have to make this a paid loan with obligation to buy. But for the moment, Kolo Muani continues to be the preferred candidate. Now, I think this is a pretty shit exclusive, to be honest with you. I didn't really see anything in there. All it says is Serie A potential destination for Núñez. So it's not stating that's where he's going or anything. It just says that, well, I mean, the original headline was Juventus asked Liverpool for Núñez. I'm not quite sure that Liverpool are going to entertain a loan deal for Núñez because they want the Wonga, right? So I ran the article through Dave, my trusted AI assistant, who I've been training since last year, I think it is now, to analyse football news articles, etc., not to sugarcoat them or just to say things that maybe he thinks I want to hear. And this is what he says. Core claims about Núñez. Juventus have asked Liverpool for information about Darwin Núñez's situation. He was previously linked with Napoli, but they chose Lorenzo Luca instead due to Liverpool's €50 million asking price. Juventus are exploring a loan with obligation to buy, but Randall Kolo Muani remains their priority. Despite a big money offer from Al Hilal, Núñez wants to stay in Europe. Credibility check, line by Dave. Juventus have asked Liverpool for information. This is vague, but plausible. Clubs often ask for information without it meaning a formal inquiry or bid. It could be an agent-driven whisper. There's no direct quote, no date, and no mention of who at Juventus did the asking. No real substance, typical of early exploratory chatter. Napoli were put off by the €50 million asking price. This contradicts some other reports stating Liverpool wants significantly more, closer to €70 million, €80 million, to avoid a big loss. Plus, Napoli have just dropped big money on other positions, and Lorenzo Luca was a bargain pickup. Feels like Pegula, the author, is retrofitting the Napoli link to add weight to Juve's interest. Juventus wants a paid loan with obligation to buy. Standard Italian transfer model. However, Liverpool are not in a position to loan Núñez when they need the funds for other moves, especially if they're chasing someone like Isak. See, Dave knows, look. Núñez has 3 years left on his contract. FSG will want an outright sale, not delayed payments. Lucrative Al Hilal offer. Núñez wants to stay in Europe. That's plausible and has been floated elsewhere. Many South American players prefer staying in Europe for visibility and competition. However, no figures or source mentioned. It's vague, but not unbelievable. And I think we've seen, I think there is, interest from there, genuine interest from there. Holes, gaps, and red flags. Nothing is sourced, no mention of an agent, intermediary, or Juventus staffer. The piece avoids naming Liverpool's stance. There's no mention of whether Liverpool are even willing to listen to loan offers, which you'd expect if he had inside information. It reads more like a speculative watch this space story than a nailed-on exclusive. I'd agree with that. The timing is interesting, published after Pegula's previous Diaz claims and amid all the Isak drama. Might be trying to keep Liverpool in his Serie A narrative loop. Viewers should consider. Ask for information doesn't mean bid or even formal interest. Juve doing due diligence doesn't mean they're seriously pursuing him, especially when their priority remains Kolo Muani. The €50 million figure seems pulled from thin air. Liverpool paid €85 million and a €35 million write-off after just 2 seasons doesn't align with how they operate under FSG. I'm struggling today. Loan with obligation. In this economy, Juve are broke. They can't afford even a down payment unless they sell. That's according to Dave. Pegula doesn't say how Liverpool responded. A big omission if this was genuinely an exclusive scoop. The article name-checks Napoli and Al Hilal to give the impression of a race, but doesn't back it up with any real info. Dave's verdict. Not total nonsense, but very soft journalism. Classic Italian-style market reporting, throw in a few names, suggest talks, use vague phrases like sound it out or ask for information and publish. It reads like Juve fishing, not a serious Liverpool negotiation. It's more useful to Juve's press room than anything that should worry Liverpool fans. Looks more like a placeholder than a story with legs. And I would agree with that. I don't think it's a very good exclusive. With regards Al Hilal, there are other bits and pieces I could add to you, stuff that I'm sure you've seen from like the likes of Romano, Mo Salah, and Ben Jacobs, if you pay attention to him. David Ornstein, the main man. So I'll probably do a video on that separately, just to give you something to watch today. All right, guys, so not much of an exclusive. There's nothing in it, really, that we can even, have a giggle with, really. It was very, well, I don't know, there's not much really in it, was there? You know what I mean? So, I don't know, Darwin Núñez. I think he'll be a success where he goes next if he's the main man. I think he's that kind of player that needs to feel he's the main man, a superstar, an arm round him kind of thing, virtual arm from the fans and everybody. Do you know what I mean? At Liverpool, I'm not sure that Liverpool is the place for Darwin Núñez, because he's not a superstar at Liverpool. He might be at another club like Newcastle, no offence. The only reason I mention Newcastle is because I'm desperately trying to get them to sign a striker. But no, I think Núñez, he could, even if he went to Newcastle, he could really surprise us and their fans, because I think Darwin Núñez as a striker needs to be playing week in, week out, consistently, first name on the team sheet, regardless of form, to get that confidence. And we know that he has, issues upstairs, he's seen psychiatrists before, apparently, because of criticism when he was younger, and we've seen how he reacts to social media, and he does have his meltdowns, so I was hoping that he would move to Spain, to be honest with you, because I would like to have kept a close eye on his career, and I would love to have seen him do well in Spain. I would like to have seen that. I'm keeping an eye on Trent, as you know, and I would like to have done that with Núñez, because what happens next in his career will be of interest to me. I'm not one of these people that goes, he don't play for Liverpool anymore, couldn't give a fuck. I'm kind of like, well, I'm really interested to see what he does next, you know. So I don't know what you guys feel. Anyway, I'll leave it with you. Not much of an exclusive. What was it? Exclusive. Juventus asked Liverpool for Núñez, more or less. Load of shite. All right, guys, I'll leave it with you. If you found the video remotely interesting, please thumbs up the video. Please drop me a comment. And if you want to buy me a beer or a coffee, there's a thanks button under the video. It's a love heart. And I always give a shout out to my people on my morning briefing the next day or whenever I do the morning briefing. I've done one on my other channel today, Duncan Oldham. The channel link is in the video description and it will also pop up on the screen. All right, guys, no live streams today. Next live stream should be 6 o'clock tomorrow night, Tuesday night, UK time.